that's trying to like get out of that circle, and basically they hating, and it's all good. That's what comes with the game, man. You know. So like I
Yeah, I
said,
agree.
yeah, like do you, man? Like no matter what happens, keep doing you. That's how.
I will certainly try.
Yeah, man. No, you're doing it. You're doing it. You know, and it's a blessing, dog. You gotta see that's a blessing. You know, you're very talented, man. I like the song. What I told you we played earlier. I love the song,
Yeah.
and I can see you. I can definitely see you performing on big stages, killing it. You know. So you doing your
That's
thing,
my
man.
dream.
You on the right path. You are on the right exact path, dog. You know.
Thank you.
Yes,
And I
sir.
think, one of the things I've kind of realized, which is kind of what you're alluding to, I think people give up way too early. They kind of think they're going to put out a song, it's going to go viral, and they don't realize that most people that make it in the music business, they've been going at it years. And I think, going viral, unless you have a label that throws a couple $100,000 at, getting you on the radio, it's just not going to happen like that. I think they give up way too early.
You're right. And you know what too? I rather people to go independent than commercial, because when you go commercial, you're being controlled. You're being controlled. You're not your own boss. Right now, you're your own boss. You're doing what you want to do. You're not listening to nobody but yourself. And I really appreciate that, because a lot of these artists that people think that's doing it because they got the videos of 100,000 views or 1,000,000 views and shows, they think they're doing it, and they're not. They're getting jerked. They're getting really jerked. So a lot of people get like misconstrued with the glamour and glitz, and it's not like that. It's totally not like that. Trust me, I know personally from personal experience. I know that. And I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, man. Like I said, that song was hot, man. I love that song that you did. I played it earlier, man, and yo, you kind of remind me of George Harrison for some reason.
It's funny. A lot of I've been releasing. This is my second year now, and between the first CD, the Christmas CD, and this year's CD, I released a lot of songs, and the most consistent band people think I sound like are the Beatles. So it's kind of interesting to hear, George Harrison and so many of these other groups, and I never imagined myself like that, even though I'm influenced by a lot of different artists. So it's kind of interesting to kind of hear everyone's feedback. It's very humbling.
Yeah, I like that word you said, humble. The key word is to be humble. A lot of artists are not humble. They're just like real stuck up and arrogant, and they're talented, but it doesn't take them anywhere. The humbleness will take you to a lot of different venues of the industry. Yeah. It's true. Like, come on. It's like, how you gonna be cocky when you never even did a concert, nothing like that, and you're gonna be cocky and arrogant? Like, that doesn't work. Especially in the industry. If you want to be on a commercial level, you have to be humble, because it's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit when it comes to being a commercial artist. A lot of bullshit. That's why you see some of these commercial artists, they be going through like depression and taking all types of drugs, because it's pressure. It's pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And as like you hitting us up, realvisionradio.com, by the way, is a blessing to us. And I really appreciate that, because you're being humble and you're very, very talented, dog.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me, and I'd be happy to be on any time, and thank you to your fans for listening. I definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course, man. Yo, mi casa, su casa.
Yeah. And, I think a lot of artists to get back to what you just said, they forget, they lose that eye of the tiger. They forget what they were like before. And to me, I think, why would you let the fame or money go to your head? We're all human beings. We can put out any song, and, some people would say that music is great. The others will say it's terrible. Even if it's a hit, it's not going to appeal to everyone. And you just have to keep working hard, and you have to realize we're all human. I'm not better than anyone else because I made a song. And really, that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter what nationality we are, the color of our skin. We're all human. And I think people forget that. You hear these wild stories about people needing, like, gold toilets to sit their butts on and all these weird things. And I can't imagine that,
No, you know what? You're right, man. Because I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions later on in this conversation. I'm glad you brought that up about we are human. It doesn't matter about color. The couple of questions I'm going to ask you later on in this interview is mainly not pertaining to music, but right now I'm just talking about your music and about you right now. Who's your favorite top 5 R&B artists?
I would say my biggest influence is probably the 80s. And, again, nowadays, you can say R&B, you can say the genres are kind of mixing a little bit, but to me, anyone from Michael Jackson, James Ingram, just a lot of the 80s artists, I think, definitely really helped shape my music. But even nowadays, there's all sorts of artists, anyone in the modern world. I know everyone says I listen to everything. I literally do listen to everything. And, you can, Tony Braxton. I mean, there's just so many artists that I think have some great R&B tunes. And my music, when I categorize it, I think it's 80s rock mixed with modern pop rock music. But I've done an R&B song. I did an R&B song last year on my CD called Back and Forth, which was actually the highest rated song of the first CD last year. So nice. I believe in experimenting and trying different things. I did a dance song last year, I Love to Love You Too, which got great reviews, and it's been placed in certain areas. So I think, if you just stay in your genre and you don't experiment, who knows? I think the best collaborations and the best, is when people go a little bit out of their element. I did a hip-hop rap song last year. It didn't get rated the greatest, but I actually thought it was really cool, but you live and learn. You got to keep trying.
Yeah, like you said, keep trying, and like I said, keep trucking. The truck never stops. It never stops. Yeah. What do you think about the R&B genre in 2015? What do you think about that?
I think it's really cool. I've read some things about R&B, about how when you look at classics like Whitney Houston and how they vocally sing and the different techniques, and it's fascinating. To me, I can't classify myself as an R&B singer, but I'd love to do some songs in R&B. But I think that style is really cool, and I'd like to kind of try to merge it with. But like I said, it's so subjective because, people listen to my song and say, that's not a singer-songwriter, indie folk song. And I'm like, yeah, it is. To me, it is. That's what I was going for. So I think R&B is a great genre, and it's kind of all I can say. I'm inspired by it, even though that's not my primary genre.
Yo, do you consider yourself a pop artist or R&B artist?
Again, when I submit my songs to different categories and different things, sometimes they don't even have some of these genres. So when I look at myself, I would say pop rock is like the general category, but there's some songs I do that are definitely pop. There are other ones that are definitely rock. There's one that's definitely R&B. So if I had to pick one category, I would say pop rock. But again, I think there's elements to each of my songs.
Well, the song I played, it's like a mixture of like pop and R&B. The song that I played. I'm not saying the other songs that you have, but the song that I played, I got the vibe of pop and R&B. That's the vibe I got. Which is good.
I can see that a little bit.
which is good. So like I was gonna, like the question I asked you before was like who like how did you start it out to be an artist? Like what was your main inspiration to be an artist to do this?
Probably my biggest inspiration, to be, again, quite frank, is my dad. So my dad was battling lung cancer for the last 15 years of his life. He got it 2 different times, and the last 3-4 years he was continuously getting chemotherapy, and I just saw it kind of wear him down. And he was probably the hardest working guy I ever knew, and he passed away a few years ago. And I really took it kind of hard, and I mourned, and I really looked at my life and said, am I where I want to be, and am I happy? And generally I am happy, but to me the thing that I kept repressing and not coming back to was music. I wanted to make music and songs, and I kept writing lyrics. So my dad passing away was probably the biggest thing that, probably about a year after his death, I really said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I don't care. There's really no reason not to. People are going to say what they say anyway. And that was kind of the thing that really put me over the edge.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, I heard something click. I thought somebody's you fighting somebody? Like, what's going on? Somebody trying to take the phone off of you?
No, I'm just sitting here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just
That's
you gotta understand something about me,
Maybe,
man. I just like when I do interviews. I just like to keep it fluid. Hello?
Sure.
Oh, what
Yeah.
was that? I heard a beep. Is the FBI trying to like tap into our conversation?
No. I'm on my cell phone, so.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just paranoid like that.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
Don't mind me.
Yeah,
Don't
no.
mind me. I'm just paranoid like that. Like I said, man, you doing your thing, man. You truck it, man. It's like I said, you got it. You have it, dog. So don't let nobody sway you into like, yo, you can't do it, this and that. Cause I'm an artist myself, dog. And I go through a lot of BS. And I just laugh at it, I just laugh at it. I just keep it moving. I just move forward,
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah, of course. But that makes an artist great because you gotta understand a lot of these artists that's big. They went through a lot of bullshit, and you be like, damn, these dudes went through a lot of bullshit, and they on top,
Yeah.
So it's like the
I
same
hear ya.
story. It's like the same story, dog. Let me ask you. Now we finished with the musical questions. I want to get into the political questions now. Are you ready for
Okay.
that?
Sure.
Okay. What do you think about the situation in Baltimore?
I don't know complete details. I heard today that they were prosecuting someone, and, my heart goes out to them because I think anytime you have someone who's innocent that, first of all, gets, beaten up, secondly, dies, has a severed spine. I don't have all the details, but I think it's just absolutely a travesty, and I feel really bad for the families, it's just, what can you say? I don't personally believe that violence in any way, whether it's the riots, whether it's the initial beating, I don't agree with violence in general, but it just is terrible. It really is. What else can you say about it? It's not right.
Yeah, it's all terrible, but my situation with it is that I gotta tell you, I gotta keep it real with you. I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist, and I believe that whole riot thing is only focused on one thing. Let me explain what I'm saying. The news coverage is only covering the violent acts. They're not covering the peaceful protests. There's a lot of peaceful protests. Matter of fact, somebody sent me a message. A video the other day. Is these 2 teens, and they were saying like, "Oh, we live in Baltimore and nothing's going on here," and they showed